Caleb, this is specifically for you. Do you think I can change your mind about DeSean Bishop? Do you think I can change your mind about DeSean Bishop? So that's today's tough question, because I've got some news for you about Tennessee's local running back who's just kind of an add-on, who's just kind of that guy that's getting in there because Peyton Lewis isn't ready. I'm ready to try to change your mind. Do you think I can change it? Because you've been of the mindset, which I would have been at most of the time, that they're playing DeSean Bishop because they have to, and the other guys aren't ready. Do you think I can change your mind? Because I got info. Give me a scale of 1 to 10 chance, because I think Bishop may well be your second string tailback.
You can change my mind a lot more than you were able to just 3 days ago.
Okay.
And,
so,
yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
And the reason being is I can't ignore what Heupel said about Bishop yesterday. And I can't ignore the fact that guy clearly runs hard. And I've said for a while, y'all think being a Memphis kid, I just hate on Nashville. No, I actually break down recruiting numbers. I should hate on Knoxville as a Memphis kid. But Knoxville kids are traditionally vastly underrated.
Yes.
And they, particularly when they go play for Tennessee.
Okay, so Bishop at Carnes High School, this is why he can be Tennessee's second leading rusher this year, and everything's copacetic. I'm not saying he's going to be electric and he's going to be one of the best tailbacks that Tennessee's ever had, but Tennessee can be just fine. And I think he's a little bit of a poor man's Dylan Sampson, which fits if Tennessee tries to go a little bit more horizontal in the flats and also a little bit further downfield. I think they're going to do that on the perimeter with Dylan Sampson a lot. Portions of the program brought to you by Don Self. Customer service still matters. For 40 years, they built their business on taking care of their customers in the greater Chattanooga area. Call 423-396-2126 or go to donself.net, donself.net. Reason number one that I'm going to give you, and then I want to get to Sims's comments that you referenced, is he was one of the players along with Peyton Lewis, Dante Thornton, and Squirrel White that had a fantastic scrimmage on Thursday. So what makes DeSean Bishop different from those other three guys? He's not as physically talented from a size-speed ratio. However, I think it's past the point of he's just a good story. Caleb, your thoughts?
I can believe it's past that point. Maybe you just brought up Dylan Sampson. Maybe between DeSean Bishop and Dylan Sampson, one of the two is actually willing to get a little physical and pick up blitzes and block people when they're rushing after the quarterback. Maybe one of them is willing to sacrifice his body a little bit more for the team than the other one. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. Maybe someone's not scared of contact as a running back.
Yeah. Now, I think Dylan Sampson, from people I've talked to, there were some miscommunications in the Citrus Bowl. So I'm not worried about his pass protection nearly as much as you, but I am worried about pass protection as a whole. I don't care if they run Caleb Calhoun out there. If you can't protect Nico Maliava, you need to get off the field. Just get away. Okay, here's another reason that I'm going to toot DeSean Bishop's horn. That sounds weird. All right, let's look back at that 2018 UCF team that was coached by whom, Caleb?
Josh Heupel.
All right, and how did that team do?
They went 12-0 in the regular season.
Okay, so I have UCF's tailbacks pulled up. I got Taj McGowan, 6'1", 210 pounds. Adrian Killens Jr., 5'8", 164. He didn't play. Montavious Thompson, 6'1", 197 pounds. Greg McCray, 5'10", 175 pounds. Trillian Coles, running back, 5'8", 180 pounds. He didn't play either. Point is, their two biggest backs were 6'1", 200 pounds, and 210 pounds, respectively. I believe this is what Josh Heupel wants. He wants these type of tailbacks. He just hasn't had it. They tried to get Jabari Small, but he wasn't quick enough. He wasn't fast enough. And then Jalen Wright was a good punishing back that they took advantage of because they needed to, because they had issues in their passing game. But I think that given Jalen Wright and Dylan Sampson, I think Josh Heupel's offense would rather have a Dylan Sampson.
I think,
and you can call me crazy,
I think Josh Heupel's offense got away with that at UCF because he was at UCF. I don't think they would want to get away with that in the SEC or at Tennessee. You need that feature back that can get again, we got to clarify here. It's all relative. Nobody's really going to get 20 carries a game anymore in this offense, but you still need that feature back that can take a level of punishment that, quite honestly, a lot of those UCF backs would not be able to do at this level. So I think it's totally different. I don't think they can build around a Dylan Sampson or even a DeSean Bishop. I think they do need a Peyton Lewis of some sorts that could run between the guards, not between the tackles, between the guards, take some punishment, and pick up pass pro consistently. Again, at UCF, they were playing in the American Athletic Conference, and it's just a totally different vibe altogether. You still need that physical back. And whatever you want to say about Jabari Small, and there's a lot we could say about him, he was physical. He was a physical player. He played hard. He blocked hard. He did what he needed to do. Jabari Small, I felt, was the perfect type of back for Heupel's system at the SEC level, in the sense of he didn't have to be good or great, but he was at the very least serviceable. And with the great interior run blocking that Tennessee had, I think Tennessee, I think they're going to miss Jabari Small this year. And I'll tell you this, I think Jabari Small is going to regret the fact that he didn't stay at Tennessee this year, because he would have gotten a ton of carries and had a great chance to shine had he stayed.
Yeah, while I don't like Jabari Small, particularly as an elite back, I agree with you. If you have that sort of depth, proven depth in the backfield, Tennessee might be a top 10 or 12 team ranked. I mean, because there's two things you can point to a Tennessee's football team. You can point to, real easy, you can point to running back depth, defensive back. And that's going to be the narrative for somebody on, let's say, in the Midwest that doesn't know anything about Tennessee. But if you took that away, it's well, if they can shore up that secondary, this could be a championship team. Yeah, it would change the narrative absolutely, completely. Now, Tennessee's tailbacks, I want to agree with you. They would rather have a Peyton Lewis be a guy that's knocking people around, and you have that guy, and he's every bit the athlete to make plays in the passing game and to do other things in the offense besides just run the football. Trust me, I'm not arguing with you. If I have to choose between a 5'11", 200-pound guy and a 6'1", 230-pound guy, I'm taking the latter. And that's what Peyton Lewis, I believe, is going to be. I just don't believe it's going to be this year. So the question I posted on our YouTube page is pretty simple. It's brought to you by the Hemp House, the premier hemp dispensary online with a wide variety, great selection, and strict standards to ensure you only receive the best in CBD or Delta products. Go to Hemp House Chat with 2Ts.com. Hemp House Chat with 2Ts.com. Use the promo code HOOKED for 10% off. Hooked for 10% off. The question is, wow, we're really split. Are you comfortable with DeSean Bishop being the Vols' second string back? Number one, yes, he's got it. Or number two, nope, not gifted enough. Caleb, I'll ask you that question. I've had my opportunity to change your mind. Did I do so?
No, because I'm still on the not gifted enough. I respect him running hard. I respect him playing hard, but I just think there are sometimes limitations. I mean, to throw out a name, Dave, Mark Levine played hard.
That's fair.
But he wasn't Jamal Lewis.
Or Eric Berry. Yeah, so, yeah. Well, yeah, I was thinking of Mark Jones. But anyway, yes.
Mark Jones. Mark Jones. Yeah, no, I say Mark Levine, the running back number 19 for Tennessee, who started the 97 season. I don't think it wasn't that he played hard, didn't play hard. I think there was just Jamal Lewis on that team.
Okay, you know okay, that's going to be brought up if Peyton Lewis turns out to be a star. If he doesn't play early, they're going to say, why in the world didn't you play him earlier, right? We said that with Nico last year. Okay, but you know the biggest difference is that Mark Levine team, if you want to go back and look at that Florida team when Jamal Lewis became a superstar the next week at Georgia, they didn't run the football, period. I don't care who was lined up at running back. They should have been more they should have been more dedicated to running the football. And Josh Heupel always will be.